simple, you know. It's just and hey man, you know, you can go anywhere from there. In, out, all around. Hi, my name's Paul Murphy. I play drums. The avant-garde jazz scene actually begot its roots in the 50s with people like Charlie Parker, Charles Mingus, Miles Davis, and it moved on down the line to people like Cecil Taylor, Jimmy Lyons, Albert Ayler. Those were the cats who brought it from the very early 60s into the 70s and beyond. Jimmy really isn't mentioned all that much in the history. However, he was a giant force. He played in Cecil Taylor's bands for 23.5 years, which that in itself is an achievement. There was a lot of really interesting things going on in New York when I got there in the very early 70s. The city was jumping, there was music all over the place, all different kinds of music. I used to love to go into a club called CBGB. That was sort of where punk rock actually started to grow out of. People like the Cramps, Adam and the Ants, a lot of different people were in there. Deborah Harry, you know, all of that. And a lot of that also fed into the Ritz Ballroom, which used to open at midnight. And the Ritz Ballroom used to host an array of rock people. I mean, from the Police to Willie DeVille, Blondie, you name it, they had it. Coming out of CBGB's down to the Ritz. I mean, the Drayer was a really, really, really famous club in France and Paris. And, you know, we played 14 nights straight there. No bands were playing any more than 2 or 3 nights at the Drayer. We played 14 nights straight, and Werner Eulinger, record producer, art collector, art dealer, he produced you know, one of the records for Jimmy's group, which was really smoking. And I mean, he recorded, you know, 3 nights worth of music. I'd like to hear the rest of the music at some point in my life, but he did a great job putting that one out. And once again, in America, I mean, you know, we got to play in all different clubs, all of the jazz clubs. And like I said, basically, the gigs just weren't promoted like they were overseas. I mean, overseas, you had people with money, you know, funneling people into those gigs, and the people really loved it. And the people in America loved it as well, the people that did come to the clubs and see it. And exposure, you know, is a big name of the game here, and that's what basically the avant-garde or the really, you know, drive-in types of jazz, things that are reaching outward. And the exposure just isn't pushed and concentrated on as much here. So overseas, you know, everybody says, wow, jazz is really hip and it's great overseas. Well, it is. It can be here too, though. And that's what I'm waiting to see. Well, I mean, the critics really influence a lot. They influence a lot of public opinion, which, you know, can make or break someone's career. I mean, you have people out here playing instruments, And I mean, they're trying to make a living playing instruments. And granted, there are different degrees of playing, or let's say, quote unquote, musicianship, or what have you. But I mean, you know, if the cats are out there trying to play and trying to make a living, my thing is this: if you don't have anything good to say about it, then man, just leave it alone and let the cats make their bread and go home. Teaching is a really gratifying experience. I'm not teaching a whole lot of students, but the students I am teaching, I consider them very exceptional. We're doing really in-depth studies of Michael Clark, who was a really good friend of mine, and I always loved how Michael played. Tony Williams and Philly Joe Jones. And these kids are rock musicians. I mean, they're like about 15, 16 years old, and they are kicking. I mean, with all the technology we got, there's no reason that anybody's living in a shack or that anybody doesn't have medicine or a meal to eat. And I'm not even talking about New York City or anywhere else in the United States. I'm talking about all over the world. He's always been an artist, and as far as keyboards and composition go, is one of the leaders, man. I mean, Larry Willis is not only just my friend, Larry Willis is my friend and a truly gifted pianist.